Welcome back to Off the Beaten Path. Wanted to show a really prolific tree for its age. This is unknown Italian purple. It's only been through 2 winters, but didn't suffer much damage at all, despite a lot of our trees taking on damage. This has been ripening, as you know. They ripen from bottom to top, and some of these are sort of in the middle of the tree already. So they've been producing since late August. And I've just been really impressed with, this is the very first tree I owned over 20 years ago that I got from a Sicilian man, and he always said it was his favorite. So I took a piece from my old property and we moved it here about, I think, like maybe 3 summers ago or 2 summers ago. So it's gone through 2 winters, and despite its young age, I'm very, very happy with its early production. One of an interesting potted plant that I've been growing for a few years is Oro Bianca, which is a variegated version. Has like a nice yellow pulp. But what was really weird is earlier this year, it was developing variegation in the leaves, which is pretty unique. And at the end, like you can kind of see, all the white gets burned off by the sun. But these new leaves that are forming, and it's not a nutrient deficiency. Because this is fed very well, but it just developed these really weird, now they're just all lime leaves, almost yellow-like. And not only that, but even the stem where it's growing, it's kind of lost its variegation to the point where it's almost yellow. So I don't know, I'm going to keep an eye on this, but I thought it was kind of just an interesting potted tree. My old faithful, of course, Taramo, which develops some really good flavor if they're left overripe. If they're not, they kind of are just sweet. It's just kind of a sugar fig. But I've always been happy with this. It's one of my first trees, obviously, to fruit. But it's halfway up the stalk for the most part, so very pleased with its early production. Another early ripening fig is unknown Yellow Greek, which I got from Aaron in New Jersey. And I've been impressed with how early it is, because I don't know of any yellow fig, including Iranian candy, that's quite as early. I wouldn't call it a delicious fig. It can split, and they are rather small, but this is another one that was, despite some winter damage, as you can see, was able to produce towards the end of August, and now it's giving figs just about every day. Earlier this year, I showed a video of some Mount Aetna types that didn't have much dieback on them, and this was Gino's Black. And Gino's Black has done very well. One of the earlier producing, I think due to the fact that it didn't have any winter damage, which was very odd, but it's produced very well, and I think that would be one to really consider for early production and certainly some winter hardiness. Another really good producer that's very consistent is MBVS, Marseille Black VS. It's ripening all the way towards the top of the branch, which is about 7 feet. So it's been giving me good production as well. One of the earliest ripening varieties, possibly the earliest ripening varieties, is Florea, which I do like for its earliness and its winter resistance. I think it does very well in that capacity, but it does split more than, I would say I'm able to maybe harvest 30% of the total figs that ripen just because of the splitting issue. They sour, they do ripen early, but with all the amount of loss that we have, we haven't had rain in a while and they're still splitting. So I like this variety for its earliness, but the splitting issue is definitely something to consider if you're in an area that gets a lot of rain. The last one I wanted to show is Improved Celeste, which is another really good early ripening fig. I liken it to Taramo, just in the fact that they're early, they have a kind of an interesting shape. Definitely a sugar fig. This one doesn't really develop much else other than sweet, sugary flavor, where I think Taramo sometimes picks up a little bit of berry notes sometimes, especially when it's overripe. So there's many trees that are producing, especially the Mount Aetnas, but they're like that every year. This is just a little bit later than than typical, but we had kind of a weird winter to begin with. So we're getting good production, but it's just a little bit later, and I don't know how many other English brown turkey types may have a chance to ripen, or Pellegrino and Long Dute, but I'm hopeful for later to get some production out of them. Thank you for watching.